Okay, so today we're going to learn how to install a Subaru engine. This is a 2005 Forester XT. So obviously manual transmission. This is a nice car. Um, and today it's going to get its new engine, or actually it's going to get its engine back. So depreciating return means that I can't afford to buy anything to mount the motor. So I got some old pallets, and that's going to be our motor mounts. And so, yeah, so this is how you do it. You cut the wood, cross the cross member, and reuse the nails because, well, it's a Subaru. I don't want to throw any more money at it. So there you go. That's not going anywhere. That's definitely a solid motor mount. All right, so that's our motor mount. And now we want to install the clutch, which the throwout bearing, well, got thrown out. So clutch, throwout bearing. That's how it goes. Actually, here, I'll do it like this. There we go. Perfect. And now, this is actually the easy part. We're going to install the engine. All right. Perfect. And because, EJ 25s are so valuable, supposedly, somebody will appreciate that. Cylinder heads. This is how I install a cylinder head. There we go. It doesn't really matter if the exhaust ports are up or down at this point. And if you're smart, you'll use your catless downpipe to smoke a big ass bowl, if you can still afford to smoke a bowl. This is a good place for the flywheel right there. It's a flywheel because it'll fly out of the car and smash somebody else's car, which you want to make sure it's not too secure for it to actually function as a flywheel. Valve covers. They can go anywhere. Just throw them in there. So there you go, some valve covers. Cams. These cams are actually in really good shape for Subaru cams. Probably, I would think. So we'll just install those up front because they work better that way. Yeah, so some cam covers. Those can go down here. We want to make sure that they match the head that they go with, right? Exhaust shrouds. Just throw them in there. Like this. So pistons, we know people like to reuse these. That's what happened to mine. Somebody somebody reused some junkyard pistons, actually. Pretty sure that motor was built in a junkyard. Just find a place for them. They work really good sitting out like that. They work better than in the motor. They call them cast pistons because they get cast aside pretty quickly if you know what you're doing. Because if you keep them, they'll ruin your engine. Motor mounts. If you're smart, you already bought some of those because you thought you were going to fix your car, and you have new ones that you're going to get rid of the day that your car leaves in someone else's hands, because you realize that this is a depreciating return investment that you probably didn't think about before you went in. I like to bag everything up so that it fills with water and gets rusty. You know, just to make sure that I don't put any more money into this car. When I actually go to put it back together again, I'll protect the last of my money. That's the depreciating return part, right? So you minimize your losses by screwing up the parts you have, leaving them out in the rain. It's pretty wise. So I usually throw everything in a mop bucket that's small, you know, and that way if you leave it outside, because the parts take up so much room that there's no room for them in the garage, because that's where your broken car is. So yeah, mop buckets are good for that. And so at this point, now you can install, let's go ahead and install the intake manifold. I'm sure the next person is going to want this timing belt to reuse, because we all like to reuse timing belts. Intake manifolds installation. This is a good time to decide whether or not you want to flip your manifold around. If you decide that you're going to go big turbo, front mount, intercooler, you can just easily just spin it around. It really doesn't care what the orientation is at this point. Leave yourself plenty of room up front, like up in here, because that's where you're going to throw it. Timing belt covers, usually they fit right there, and they work better there. Your new timing set that you probably bought the first time you built it, which was like a month ago. If one of your friends told you just go ahead and buy an out front block or an IAG long block and you didn't listen to them, well, this is what you end up with. Throw that in there. So yeah, this is where your power steering pole goes. And these lines are pretty easy to install. You just put them right hope this instructional video helps somebody. You got some random shit. Make sure you get a new water pump that you can give to the new owner, so that they're willing to buy this pile from you. One interesting thing is that these actually weren't that hard to get off. The bolts for these were easy to get off using so that these bolts, I didn't even use an Allen, I just grabbed it with an extractor that latches on the outside and puts these little notches in it. They came right out actually, and I don't think that would fail anybody. The bolts are still usable. So all of that whole stripping and drilling that happens in almost every video, there is a guy on YouTube that has a video about this, tapping that on and then taking these out. It works great. It works every time. That's probably the only good experience I had was that. The starter works right here, over by the cylinder head. That's how you start these. Coolant pipe. This is a good place for it. Just kind of like key it in right there. This is where your brand new, but now rusty clamped air oil separator goes. The plumbing goes like this. You can go on their website and they'll show you how to route it, but if you can't follow this easily, but it just goes like that. And then your air box. Put the IAG on top though, because the people that are coming to buy the car are, they're gonna be excited about all that stuff that you wasted your money on. This car was actually sold to me by a very dishonest person, but it's okay. I beat the crap out of it, even with the piston that had bad ring lands. So, K&N. These things are stupid anyways, but there you go. You gotta give them that too. And tell them it in the ad that you have it so that you look like a real performance enthusiast. Bag of bolts. You want to use the cheapest bag you have, because if it tears, then it's just as frustrating for the person who just capitalized on your loss. And that's a good thing. And this is the trick now. Take this off, because you need to put your, you need to install your turbo. Take this. Alright, so clearly that's not gonna work. I think I'll put the turbo in the back of the car. It's a rear mount. So yeah, and these coolant tubes, make sure everything stays cool. And that's it. Now, even if they tow it flat, they don't have to worry about losing parts all over the highway like you did while you owned the car. And the rest I'll put in the back. Have a good day.